Well, hello everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm sure that you're all very excited to hear all about Kati, aren't you? Yes? Oh, well, I certainly hope so. Thank you. You don't have to be shy. I'm very friendly. And I'm dead, so it's very easy to get along with me. I mean, I'm just standing here waiting to get into heaven. I've been waiting a long time, but that's all right because it gives me lots of time to watch down and see how Kati has grown up. Oh, she has turned into such a wonderful young woman, really very, very wonderful. And considering the tragedy in her life, it was just awful. Oh, when I spent all of my time with her, she was just 8 years old, and well, you know, her mom had lots to deal with her father and whatnot, so I took it upon myself to do what I could to take care of Kati, and she loved the horses, and I loved the horses, so I would take her to the racetrack every Saturday. And now, do you all have a racetrack here in Portland? Do you? Has anyone? No, I don't.
No.
Oh, that's awful. Because everywhere should have a racetrack. They're fantastic. Now, if yours is anything like ours, you have a couple of choices. Either you can sit outside in big bleachers and be really close to the horses, or you can spend just a little bit of money, not too much money, just a little bit, and you can sit inside with these huge windows so that you can see the horses very, very well. And there's a buffet. So you can eat as much as you want and play the horses all at the same time. I really don't think it gets much better than that. And Kati felt the same way. So on Saturdays, I would go and I would pick her up. And we would go and I would pay our fare to get into the buffet. And then I would send her on ahead so that she could pick the table. She always was very particular about what table we sat at so she could see the horses all perfectly. And while she did that, I always made sure I had a very large purse with me. And I would go to the buffet and I would get all sorts of food. They would have rolls and butter and salads, you name it. Lots of cold cuts. It was delicious. And then I would take my plate to wherever Kati had chosen for us, and then I would send her to the buffet. And we would then sit and eat our food and watch the horses, and then I would give her a couple of dollars so she could go and place bets for us. You know, just $1 or $2 so that it would be fun. And she would run off and I would go back to the buffet and eat a little bit. And then when she would come back, we would just spend the day like that. You know, it was very nice, and by the end of the day, our bellies were a little fuller, our pockets were a little fuller, and my purse was very, very full. And Kati, she had the best luck with the horses. Even as a little girl, I would give her $2, and she would go home with $5, $10. One time she even came home with $25. I don't know how she did it, but my purse and I would take Kati home, and then she would run up and go to bed. Never a problem going to bed, ever. She would go without any hesitation. Go up, brush her teeth, get into her jammies. My children, they never did that. I don't know how Janet lucked out in that way. But once Kati was off in bed, then I would empty out my purse. And I would help Janet put away all the food that I had collected that day. The rolls and the pats of butter are the best. Because the pats of butter, they're in the little pieces of foil, right? And so you can put them in your purse and they don't get a mess anywhere. And And butter is very expensive. Very expensive. So much cheaper to do it this way. And well, honestly, with all of the medical bills they had, I have no idea how they paid for the food. So, I just did what I could. We all did, We came together. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, my sister, may she rest in peace, it was very difficult for her when her son got hurt so tragically. And I gotta understand a little bit where she's coming from, because she lost her daughter, died when she was very young, and she just couldn't deal with what happened to Jimosh. And so I had to step up in there, to take a little bit of the burden off of Helen. May she rest in peace. And then, to thank me, she has the good fortune to die during the Holy Week, so she gets to cut to the front of the line. I don't know if you know this, but in Polish Catholicism, if you die during the Holy Week, it gets you to the front of the line to go into heaven. And she died, and I had already been waiting in line for almost 10 years, and there she goes, cutting right to the front of the line. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. You who dwell in the comfort of the Lord, who abide in his shadow for life, call to him my shepherd, my rock in whom I trust, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. And hold you in the palm of his hand. May the Lord be with you. We lift up our hearts. Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. All circumstances. It's very easy to be thankful when things are going well, when you have enough food to eat, when your friends and family are healthy. But it is much more difficult to give thanks when times are hard and when people are in pain. And I know that many of you have experiences like this in your life. And I would like to remind you all of what is going on with our congregants, Jim, Janet, and Kate Mira.